Today we're gonna break down 5 different drum groups in the style of heavyweight artists like Artbat, Dyson, and Vintage Culture. We will try and analyze and understand those drum patterns so that you can make use of those learnings in your own productions. Hello, my name is Thomas, also known as Tantum. I'm a DJ and producer in the realms of melodic techno and progressive house, and I'm super happy to be invited by Production Music Live to give you a class today on the topic of drums. So the first drum group we're going to look at is a more classic, basic setup. Let's dive right into it. Alright, so here I have an Ableton project. I will listen to it first in whole, and then we're gonna deep dive and analyze just the drums, individual sounds, and how it comes together. So let's play the full groove first. And you can hear there's a lot going on. We have a full bass, full instrumentation, even with vocals. So let's take a listen to how it sounds if we play just the drum group. And you immediately notice that it's quite simple actually. So let's take a look at the individual elements and how they build up the drum groove for this project. So right from the start we can notice there's a strong kick and clap focus. Let's solo these elements. Strong punchy kick. Standard clap on the 2 and 4, reinforcing that groove. Let's take a look at some of the processing on the kick drum first. As you can see, it's pretty much just a good sample to begin with. Sound selection is key. If you want to keep it simple and make room for other instruments, it's very basic, very strong sounds that cut through the mix. The kick drum has only a slight amount of compression, so even the processing here is quite simple. Let's take the clap in. It's another PML sample with just a high pass. Within the drum group, we also have a cymbal group. Let's solo that first and listen to it. And you can hear this is really just supporting the bass foundation that the kick and clap made for us, right? So we have a simple open hi-hat on the offbeat. And if you play this with the kick and clap, this kind of is the main groove already. That's what's gonna give us the space to fill it out with the other instruments, the bass, the vocals, and the synths. Let's check this shaker loop. You can hear just adding some tiny details, also not a lot of processing going on, and then we just top it off with another hat loop that gives this kind of lower grunge that was cut out here. Yeah, so this cut here was to make space for that hat loop to kind of fill that space. All right, so now let's take a look at another drum group example. This is the next project we're gonna look at. So immediately we notice that it is a more open, light, fluffy sounding tune. And the drums work a bit different compared to the previous project we looked at. So let's take a look at what I mean by that. So we have another PML kick drum, no processing on it. Let's just listen to it on solo. Punchy and clicky. Good sample to begin with. Let's add the clap. Nice and cutting. Now let's check the tom. This is a nice sound because it has a tonal quality to it. So this kind of bridges the gap and connects the bass line with the drum groove. Let's add the bass line on top of it. And you can hear the bass line is changing, the progression is changing its notes, but the tom stays on its root frequency. And this gives a nice harmonic experience to hear. And it also connects the bass line to the drum groove and makes it more interesting. As far as processing, we have some EQing to get rid of some of the clickiness around 1 kilohertz, but reintroduce some of that clickiness in the higher frequencies because the sample isn't so clicky there. but it's a bit in the mid, so if I turn this off, sounds a bit dull and condensed, yeah, around the speaker cutoff frequency where a lot of drivers switch between the main chassis and the tweeter. So this sounds a bit more punchy and punctual in the mix. Now let's check the cymbal group. Again, a kind of quieter, groovy, almost shuffly kind of hi-hat loop, but the center is the offbeat hi-hat again. A nice, shuffly, groovy perk. This really gives it some drive. So let's listen to the drum group without this. Without that element, it's really lacking that sort of drivey, groovy, rolling feeling. The element itself, it's simple. Again, a nice sound to start with. Some reverb. Not too dominant in the mix, but it really fills out that upper mid frequency and gives it that shuffly feeling. And finally, we have a little percussion fill. Super nice and simple. If we look at the MIDI, again, it's a bit shuffled. So it works with that shuffly, rolling feeling from the perks and those offbeat hits from the open hat and the perk here. All right, so that's the more tonal, percussive approach. Let's take a look at another drum group. Yeah, immediately more intense, more driving, more peak time energy in this drum configuration. The first thing that stands out to me is the ride, the cymbal. This essentially replaced the offbeat hi-hat. So let's take that off and hear what it sounds like. So with that gone, we immediately hear that the focus is very much more on the kick drum. So kick, clap, and then that ride is taking up all the high frequency space almost. Let's put it back in. And also there's this closed hat in the cymbal group. So let's play with that for a second. And we notice that this is on the one, it's on the kick drum, really pushing the impact of the kick drum. And then the ride fills out the high spectrum in the offbeat, but it sustains over a longer amount of time. And then to top it off, we have those intense snare rolls that really push the energy. Let's listen to those elements as well. So that snare has a bit of a modulation on the velocity, just to give it a bit more of an organic feel and not have it too straight, although it is pretty straight on the beat, which helps that intensity again. And then here we have some good boosting on the EQ, just to push it in the highs. The highs are what gives it that energy. If I turn this off, it's way too boomy. It has that low snare frequency, but not that brilliance in the high end. And this is a great example for really lifting the energy. So make note of that and keep it in mind for making your next banger. Alright, so for this next drum groove, we're gonna take a look at more of the sound design aspect and some creative ways on how you can use synthesizers in your drum group to create sounds. So let's take a listen. There's this special element in here that I left muted for now. I'm gonna bring it in now, just to see what huge difference that makes. Kind of modulated noise hi-hats. Really brings in a lot of depth. So let's take a look at the cymbals. This is where the magic happens. And listen to this noise hat. If you have the space in your drum group to make room for an element like this, it can really help to keep the sound interesting over a long amount of time. If you've noticed, this noise hat is using a lot of modulation and shifting. So it plays a simple rhythm, a 16th rhythm, but it's adding a lot of depth through its modulation. Let's see into how that is done exactly here. So this is a serum patch, essentially just using the noise oscillator, none of the regular oscillators. And you can see the automation affects the volume, so that gives it that organic shuffle. Like when you use a hand shaker, for example, not every hit is going to be the same volume. So this gives it an organic feeling. We have some panning adding onto that. And also the velocity is modifying some of these parameters here. So it's the LFO on the panning, velocity on the level. We also have a filter on here just to take out a bit of that high end. High frequencies dissipate really fast. And a synthesizer, they're synthetic, so they're a bit stronger than our ears are used to from like a shaker recording, for example. And it sounds really nice and adds a lot of depth. Again, listen to it with and without. The space is there, much more interesting. We have less focus on the offbeat here, very filtered sounding loop. 16th, filling out the higher spectrum. And then another loop. And together it really becomes a full piece. Already that is really nice to listen to. Let's look at some of the processing of the noise hat. We have quite a bunch of EQing. Again, from a synthetic sound source, you might need to lay some hands on the post-processing because it's pretty much just white noise coming out of that synth. So this gives it a different timbre. So it's kind of too low almost. Mid-side processing. Cutting the low end of the sides and attenuating quite a bit as well. Also some panning on top of the panning coming from the synth already, just to give more motion and modulation to the sound. Those toms down here, which I want to show first, again, just samples playing less regular than the ones up here, but adding in a way that it doesn't seem too loopy. Yeah, so this comes in, this section here, almost acting like a fill. We have a delay on this one here, and another delay on here, so they play only occasionally, but are more out there in the stereo image. And I want to especially look at that tom here, because that's also synthesized. And you can see it's again a very simple patch, basically just stacking sine waves. So let's listen to the B oscillator. And then the main bass layer, 1 octave down. And this gives us a tom sound. And again, using modulation to make it sound really interesting. Serum has that great dimension effect track here that just gives us this stereo magic that makes it sound so much nicer. And just for completionist's sake, let's add the bass line. Check back here. That noise hat really adds so much depth to the track. So make use of that, be creative, use modulation, use synthesizers, use creative, cool new sounds in your projects. Also in the drums, try to create something that is interesting to listen to for a long time. So let's listen to this loop here. Let's take a look at those fills. You can see it consists of mainly snares, toms, and maybe some type of hi-hat. And a good way to go about this is building it from a 16th pattern. What a fill is doing is emulating what a drummer would play. So you're on that 16th grid, but you hit different cymbals, toms, percussions, or drums, and you have to place them manually, or that's one method you can do it. Check the snare section here. This one. Then we have a tom hitting on the dead space in here. It's layered with another tom. And again here, it's really about finding good source material sounds. Those samples are pretty good right off the bat. There is not a lot of processing, if any. The devil is really in the details here. You see some reverb on that tom, but not on this one. And this is just like a high fizz. It's not so much focused on that low body of the tom, where this one sounds more loose and a bit more reverby to begin with. So the discipline is really to mix and match those sounds in a way that fills the sonic spectrum. Let's check those other toms down here. Very long, sustained one, and then one playing right with the snare. A bit more body even. Let's listen to all those elements together in full swing. There's a key component missing. It's the crash to outroduce a fill like this. So this would play on the one as the new bar comes in. You have that crash playing. It makes a huge difference. So let me play this with and without. Not nearly as much impact without the crash. Very simple sound again. This is a really nice technique to use for introducing and outroducing sections. I would put this at like 8, 16, 30 bar phrase intervals. Like I said, to introduce or outroduce sections of the track and lead to like a chorus or to a break. This is a nice touch. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new, and feel free to experiment, be creative, use the things you've learned in your own music, make your own twist with it, and go wild, have fun with it. Make sure to check out the Ableton files that are provided with this course so that you can have your own look at the drum groups. And these projects, a lot of the sounds were from the PML Melodic Techno Mesmerized sound packs. They have amazing sample packs available. I use them all the time. And if you found this helpful, also make sure to check out the Melodic Techno Academy Volume 2, where there's a lot more ground covered, start to finish courses, extended lessons on mixing, mastering, harmonies, melodic, sound design, much more, everything you need for a full production. So go check that out and expand your knowledge today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new. Have a good day.